Yeah, I'm super looking forward to Arena's new non-rotating format. I think that's going to be super awesome. If Arena's new non-rotating format is even a fraction as popular of Modern, my stream will probably be split 40% standard, 40% new format, 20% modern legacy. Maybe even 45-10. Getting to play more Arena, getting to play more formats on Arena sounds really awesome. Yeah, you can always find all the decks coming up on my deck queue on the stream in the deck queue on my website. All right, red black mid range. This is card for card Jody Keefe's deck list that won the Grand Prix. First strike creatures are just very reasonable in this format. Not only is Goblin Chainwhirlers deal 1 damage to things, good against mono blue and mono white aggro, but just the fact that this deck has so much first strike in it is a really fantastic. It lets you hold down the ground well against a lot of things. One comment I do have on this archetype is that I kind of wish there were more copies of Status in the 75, just because this card's been very good when I've played it in other things, but we're going to go ahead and start card for card with Jody's list and play some matches and go from there. No, all we know about the new format is that it's going to start in the fall when rotation happens. I don't play any Magic at Gen Con, so when I go to Gen Con, I usually just play board games, and sometimes I play a little bit of the Warhammer TCG. But usually I spend all week playing Magic, and like my other travel trips are Magic trips, so like when I go to Gen Con, we usually just focus on other things. The next set is at the beginning of May. Well, I really hope that's my wife upstairs. Either that or my house has just been broken into. One of the two. Hey, it's not a burglar. You brought me lunch too? Gosh, you're my favorite wife ever. She's the best. She's the best. She broke into my house to bring me lunch? Gosh, she's wonderful. That's exciting. All right, now I gotta see what I got. Oh, that was a punch. Should have shocked this in response. Yikes. She brought me Olive Garden. This stream is in no way sponsored or endorsed by the Olive Garden, but the Olive Garden, if you're out there, I need to eat this food before we find out if we could be. I can't remember the last time I had Olive Garden. So I wanted to scry before I drew my card for the turn there, but apparently that isn't an option that was available to me, so let's just Lava Coil this. There are a bunch of breadsticks here, which are kind of delicious. So anything that's not a land or a Lava Coil, we're gonna go ahead and bottom here. Perfect. Oh, I could have Dare Fleet their Lava Coil. That's fine. That's fine. We'll do that next turn. We'll do that next turn. Tidwell, thanks for the 5 months. I'm gonna blame the breadstick. The breadstick's very good, okay? No, J-Boz, you're doing it wrong. There's no nutrition information on this box of Olive Garden that Christy brought me, so it's all 0 calories. You just gotta understand how to work the system, okay? There aren't any calories if there isn't a nutrition label. That's why I put my candy in a dish. God bless. Wow, that's rude. Wow, woof. Maybe I'm supposed to chump block this 4-5 here. Manworm is good. All right, so I guess this is okay for me. So I get to do this, and then these treasures aren't doing anything anyway, since I lost the cove, so I could do this into this. And then I'm probably just winning this race, right? Like, even if they have another worm next turn, they're only attacking me for 6, so I can go ahead and get in for 6 here and put them to 7. So this isn't strictly a mukbang stream, but I do plan to stream for like 10 to 12 hours today, so eating a real meal in the middle is nice. Alright, I need to block this enough to not die to Colossus, right? Can I beat double Colossus? 13. I would have to put enough on it to beat double Colossus. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna leave myself dead to double Colossus. Night Bugly, thanks for the 24 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So if they Colossus here, I'm still only going to 3, so I'm still alive. Maybe I should put one more to play around Colossus plus Lightning Strike. Alright, so they're dead the way they played this, right? So Siege Gang shoots this. We attack them for 8. We technically have 9-10 by the Siege Gang throwing himself. I'm gonna do this to see if we can get 2 more cards in their hand. Guess not. Fight with Fire seems fine. Angrath seems fine. Eldest Reborn's a little bit mediocre against decks with bad creatures in it. Give this a go. I'm short 1 Lava Coil on the board, another Colossus. Yeah, that's probably fine, Chewy. El Schwartz, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Jeff thought there was a burglar and wasn't going to check. Well, I figured maybe it was a burglar that was bringing me lunch. Christy, what was the little thing on the side of the package? So there were quesadillas, a breadstick, and then there was something on the side that was very, very good, and I don't know what that was. Well, welcome to Twitch, Schwartz. Welcome to a live one. Thanks for dropping in. Thanks for the support. Hey, I appreciate you keeping me employed here. This scene sounds great. Kills land worlds on one, deals with explore creatures. So I'm going to play basic mountain here because they play a Merfolk Branchwalker. I want to Carnival it in response to the trigger. Lasagna Frida. It was really good. So you want to do this in response to the explore creature so that with the explore triggers, so that if they hit a non-land like that, it dies. Yes, is exactly correct, SCTR. The burglar brought me something delicious to eat. As much as I want more Phoenixes here, really just need a land. I think I just play on a 2-1 as a blocker here. Just like keep my health total high. I don't really want to take hits if I can avoid it. My deck doesn't have something like Wild Growth Walker to catch back up if I get behind on the health total race, so I want to just be a little bit defensive from the start, I think. What are we needing today? My wife brought me Olive Garden for lunch. So, did I just Carnage them here? I think I just Carnage them here, huh? Wonder if they have like a Frilled Mystic or a Negate here. I bring in Disdainful Stroke in this matchup so they could have a Stroke. If they don't have a counterspell, we should be pretty solidly ahead here. Their best next turn is like Untapped Land, Krasis for... Untapped Land, Krasis for 4, but even then I think we're still a little bit ahead with these treasure maps. They do have a Lightning Strike that I mentioned not playing around last turn. Really greedy here. They discarded a land and had the Krasis in hand, probably. Maybe they drew this off the top. That one can stay right there. So go ahead and play my second bird out here, and we'll do this next turn. Hey, Code. Thanks for the 2-1-3 sub. I appreciate that. This worm killing my card advantage is so rude. I think I start attacking with the Phoenix here. Like, just one, just start pressuring them. pretty solidly ahead there. So I was going to shill after this match, but I have food in front of me now, so we're just gonna go ahead and jump back in. We'll shill when I'm done eating. Grilled Tarpan, thanks for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Some people are discussing the merit of waiting on the treasure map flip. I think it's fine. I think we're far enough ahead that I can take a minor risk there and have it not really matter. There was a non-zero number of people that registered this archetype, but not a ton if I recall. We did win the last match. We 2-0'd the teamer deck we were playing against. Alright, I think at this point we're just like jamming 3/3 first strikers down their throat. Just poke you go. As someone who generally prefers small businesses whenever he can to non-small businesses, one thing I will say is that many small businesses and small restaurants have absolutely and this isn't to say all of them, so if you have a local one that doesn't do this, fine, but most small businesses, as far as restaurants are concerned in my experience, have rancid selection of vegetarian food. Like, the selection of what you can get there as someone who doesn't eat meat is generally terrible. Do I want to play Rix Maadi here? I think I want to play Rix Maadi and ditch the Siege Gang. Just get aggressive. I love you anyways, even if you forgot to bring me chocolate. And Nivik, to answer your question, dollar bills have always been beaten by more dollar bills here, so letting people cut other $100 donations is not a thing. It's a Midwest thing. And in the Midwest, it's definitely hard to get vegetarian food at smaller restaurants. Yep. We had a couple paths that led to victory. We could have Carnage. We could have Daredevil cast down their thing. Like, there were a lot of ways we could get to Rome there. Listen, I'm not vegan, okay? I'm not super picky. I just don't like the taste of meat, which usually at smaller places is an issue. I think this card's not good enough. They don't really have any bombs you want to take, and they have a lot of poopy creatures. This is probably a status. I think pretty sure this is a theater matchup. Fight with Fire seems good here too. What am I trimming here? The shocks maybe aren't great. Shock seems like a reasonable cut. Maybe trim a Dire Fleet. I guess Dire Fleeting their Fine Finalities is pretty good. Listen, I just love dairy, okay? Cheese cheese and ice cream, those are wonderful, okay? Cheese and ice cream are wonderful. You're supposed to play Legion Warboss against decks that don't play to the board. Decks like Esper Control and Nexus of Fate decks. Yeah, I'm gonna trim one. Takeout food's popular in the US just because it's extremely cheap. Even when I was, you know, a person making close to minimum wage during undergrad, like takeout is still pretty accessible in the United States. It's convenient too. A lot of people have more money than time, especially in relation to how much takeout costs. You know what? Maybe I'm not supposed to scry here and I'm just supposed to play Chainwhirler. Yeah, maybe that was loose. Because this is a 2-1, I should have just played Chainwhirler. BK Lounge. And boards like this really exemplify the power of a card like Goblin Chainwhirler in this format. Like, even though it only killed one of their things, the fact that it keeps the rest of the board in check while we have a powerful flyer like Rekindling Phoenix to literally go over the top is very reasonable. Oh yeah, fast food is terrible for you. Absolutely rancid. All the cheap fast food places are real bad for you health wise. Actually, it's funny. One of my pet peeves as a vegetarian is while a lot of places have choices, it's amazing how many restaurants don't offer salads without meat in them. Just like you can order a salad, but like you have to say like get the chicken Caesar salad, no chicken. So like you're still paying the upcharge for the chicken basically. I'm not blocking with my Rekindling Phoenix here because I don't want them to like play a hostage taker and take my egg. Huh. How do we feel about Chainwhirler plus Blightning here? Chainwhirler, Blightning seems good. And I'm gonna go ahead, so the sequencing here is important. I want to Carnage before I Chainwhirler. So this way they don't know I have another Chainwhirler coming into play when they choose to discard. Because knowing I'm playing another 3/3 with First Strike could impact the cards they discard from their hand. So I know I didn't block last turn, exciting playing around this. The reason why I went ahead and did it now, though, was because at this point, my opponent's getting close to playing this and just taking my Phoenix. Also, I don't want to just sit there and keep taking hits. It's a shame. It's a shame we already played the other Whirly Boy out, huh? Young Thick, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. So, still be a good combat trick. We can block something with first strikers and then do this. Get another Crisis. What am I saving Coil for? Something that my Goblin Chainwhirlers don't keep in check. Why do I want to Coil the Walker? Why do I care about the Wild Growth Walker is going to get checked by these, just like the rest of the board. Especially with the status in my hand, like. Maybe I should play the Dire Fleet Daredevil out here, just like another first striker. I guess I could technically statue this 5/5 here, too. I think I'm just going to take the hit for now. One Chainwhirler, please. I think I bottomed the other one earlier. I think I'm still bottoming this. I've got a bunch of draws at hitting something better. I think they have a removal spell. Even if they have a removal spell here, this trigger plus Lava Coil is still gonna kill this, so I think this is okay. Like, I'm getting 2 for 1, but I think we're still in a fine spot. I did enjoy my lunch, wifey. Why were you at Olive Garden, by the way? Were you there for work? We're still in a fine spot here. Like, next turn I get to scry, flip this, then start hitting it. If they don't have another removal spell, we should be okay for the moment. Golden Oreo Mini, hey, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, and they have something in their yard for Daredevil now, which is great. I'm actually going to block this, just so they can't rip Explore creatures here, I think. It does put me to 1, though, as opposed to 2. Am I about to get hostage takered and die? You know, I wonder if they're supposed to play Crisis for 1 here, just because I'm at 1. I think I'm just supposed to do this. I think it's Siege Gang pass, and then wait and see what they do. No, I think I want to save this to Vraska's Contempt, their Hydroid Crisis this turn. Because they're going to play a Crisis as a 7/7. And then, like, we're almost keeping up on cards here, right? Like, they've got 4 cards in their hand, but I've got 4 card draws on the board here. Yeah, maybe killing Carnage is better last turn. I can see that. Yeah, we're on 4 Dire Fleets. I boarded one out here, but that might be wrong, honestly. Attack first and then Finality. I think that's a little bit loose. I think I'd rather just turtle up here a little bit. Siege Gang enabling Spectacle on Rix Maadi is good.
I've lost so much already. No one knows the wilds like I do.
Yep. Oh, I can sack the Chainwhirler if they go to take it here, right? I didn't play Reveler because I want to leave up Siege Gang Commander activations, and I want to draw with my Treasure Cove this turn. Man, I really wish I had more status statues in my deck to like target my Siege Gang and just like start mowing stuff down. My sway with Watsy. That's a funny joke. Funny, haha. Funny, haha. Alright, so we're dead. Almost dead. Start with this, see where we go. Okay. What does that do? This hostage taker taking our Chainwhirler is just gonna dumpster us next turn. Well, they have 3 cards, so I can't really make them discard hostage taker. I have 9 mana total, so I can't Reveler and play another Carnage. I think we're dead. I think we need to go to the next game. There's a lot of options here, so I'm just like trying to count and make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, this archetype's definitely a grindy mid-range deck. Like this is not an aggro deck. Like, I know red-black colors like Chainwhirler tend to be, like, in a lot of aggressive shells, but this deck specifically is very grindy. I'm gonna trim one of these on the play. I think the person that suggested I should have double-blocked the Carnage Giant was probably correct. I would have left myself in better attacking positions after that turn if I would have, probably would have left myself in a better spot. I think I keep this. Sounds like not amazing, but I think it's in the range of keepable. I get to filter a land into hopefully something better with Rix Maadi. Wouldn't they have gotten it back with their find? Oh, I guess that's true. They did do that. Yeah, you're probably right. The shuffler's flat. Ooh, that's a great pickup here. Our curve's gonna be really solid. Yeah, I agree. I think not having more copies of status in this deck's a bit of a miss. Has good synergy with a lot of things. It's like it's even just good as a combat trick, which honestly makes me think that like so we played a Jund Chainwhirler deck a few times on stream, and my big looking at this is like I'm not convinced that playing this deck is better than just playing Jundwhirler. Theater of Horrors is literal card advantage. It effectively is drawing you an extra card every single turn. I don't use Mana Traders, Master Jareth. MTGO Traders is my sponsor for Magic Online stuff. Heard a lot of negative feedback from the people about the people that run Mana Traders being unsavory business types. I think, again, I just want to focus on keeping my health total high here. And I think I want to just use this. And it's important that I kill Merfolk Branchwalker here as opposed to Jadelight Ranger. Because even though these things both have the same power and toughness, my opponent's deck has the ability to pick things back up from their discard pile. Which means that I'd rather put the worst creature in their graveyard for them to find back. Phoenix is definitely one of our better threats and something that I want to... Very, very fortunate to have 3 of them at the moment. Outside of Vraska's Contempt, they have a hard time grinding through them. I guess Hostage Taker is good at grinding through them, he says, as his opponent plays the Hostage Taker. Hoping to hit a Lava Coil here. I'm going to not activate Treasure Map before my draw step. Well, I'm going to let Theater of Horrors trigger before I use the Treasure Map. Because if this exiles Lava Coil like this, now I want to draw for the turn. And the reason for this is if I activated Treasure Map, I wouldn't be able to activate Theater and then cast Lava Coil. So if Theater hadn't hit Lava Coil here, I would then activate Treasure Map to try and scry into Lava Coil. But because this hit it, I don't want to scry so I can use my mana.
Wild animals.
That's really interesting that we're using Vivian instead of shooting one of my pieces of card advantage. So don't really care about the land under there, so let's scry. So they have a Hostage Taker coming down next turn. I think I'm okay keeping this map. So that way we can play 6th land, play 2nd bird, play 2nd map. And like they're gonna get to Hostage Taker one of my birds next turn, but like I've got a lot of shots at finding more Lava Coils to replay it before then.
The wilds are my shield.
This matchup is such a slog. Like, it doesn't look like it, but like someone said earlier, this deck really grinds better than it looks on the surface. I get a lot of shots at Lava Coil next turn, though, right? I get a Theater, 2 scries, and a draw, so I get 4 looks at 3 more coils here. Not what I want for Christmas. That's what I want for Christmas. All I want for Christmas is a Lava Coil. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Wow, do they have a negate? Deal. Think it's worth spending a treasure to gain a little tempo and get this bird down sooner here. They have a removal spell, they can get rid of this egg. Worth noting if they have another Hostage Taker, they can take Phoenix and replay it in the same turn. They can also Crisis for 6 here and let the grind continue. Emmer, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Come back to me, little birdie. He exiled a Lava Coil. Sure. Alex, thanks for the 13 months. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I think I want to bottom this. It doesn't really do anything meaningful. I guess it triggers Theater of Horrors, but like there isn't really anything super useful under there. All right, just checking. Is it crazy to... So I'm attacking with this at them, even though it's a free block, because then Lava Coil gets activated, which is nice. I'm sending 2 of these at Vivian's, that way I can guarantee Vivian getting off the table. Interesting. All right. So I can do this. I can play this land, but then I'm short of being able to Siege Gang and Lava Coil here. So I think I'm just gonna Chainwhirler. I feel like they need to play a sweeper already as is in conjunction with something else, so I don't really want to play Siege Gang out into a potential sweeper. Do I have a favorite deck building board game I'd recommend? I think Clank is probably my favorite deck builder at the moment. It's by Direwolf. Provides pretty good gameplay. Yep. Man, it's going to be really impressive if we manage to win this game. Phoenix is a strong card. Come on, get aggressive. You know you want to. Yeah, I agree, Be Rich. I've not played Clank in Space, actually. My board game time's been kind of limited since... Do I keep this? I almost feel like I'm supposed to keep this, but I'm kind of just, like, looking for removal right now, right? I think I'm just looking for removal. That's really good. Yeah, boarding this card out was wrong in this matchup. Definitely want all my dire fleets. So they're obligated to block. I get to Lava Coil, finish their Crisis, and I get to bump them down to 4. And then I have 2 lethal Siege Gang commanders in my hand next turn. So, like, they need, like, to answer my board and gain life. They probably can't get Wild Growth Walker going on top of everything else here. Hey, Tofu Cow, thanks for checking out Quip. I appreciate that. Hope you enjoy your brush. Be sure to drop me a message in private and let me know which deck you'd like to bump up in the queue with your Quip points. This was really impressive. Like, we ground them into the dirt, and their draw was not bad this game. They had multiple Crisis. They had Vivian. Like, they had a lot of good stuff going on here. They had multiple hostage shakers too. Yep. That's pretty sweet. How we doing, folks? Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for hanging out here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. If you are someone who enjoys standard best of 3 constructed with sideboarding, this is definitely the channel for you. We play a ton of different decks here. We usually change decks every 60 to 90 minutes or so. As always, a shout out to all my wonderful subs. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their wonderful support, so thanks to all of them. I'd also like to give a shout out to some of my great sponsors here really quick. The Nerd Rage Gaming Championship Series is a $5,000 cash tournament series that happens every single month in the Midwestern United States. If you can't make it out to the Midwest to play in one of their tournaments, be sure to check out their streaming coverage as well at twitch.tv/NRG series. I'm actually going to be playing in their March event next weekend, so be sure to see that if you'd like to see me play some Paper Magic. RJBH, thank you for the brand new Prime support. Thanks for shipping the Bezo bucks this way. BCW supplies are the only ones I trust to protect my very wonderful shuffling deck here, as well as my other paper Magic the Gathering cards when I play. Using code Jeff10 at bcwsupplies.com, you can save 10% on sleeves, binder, deck boxes, and all sorts of other fantastic stuff there with them. Neo provides wonderful candy-flavored protein bars. Using code Hoagland at bit.ly/HugoBar, you can save 10% on all of your orders there with them. And of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoaglandia. I know there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch here today, and I appreciate you choosing to drop by our stream here today. Remember, if you are new and enjoying the content, be sure to hit that follow button. Following the stream doesn't cost you anything. It lets you know when I go live and with what. Heading on into our next match here with Jody Keefe's red-black mid-range deck and see how it goes. Was a little surprised this deck didn't put up more results at the Mythic Championship. I need to go back and double check, but I don't think there were that many people actually playing it in the tournament. It definitely felt very powerful when we've played it. That being said, drawing our second Eldest Reborn here against Mono Blue probably means we're dead. Can I make a Mardu Hero deck sometime? You can see a ton of different variations of Mardu Hero on my website and my YouTube channel. Basically, everything I stream gets archived to both of those places, and I cut it all up by deck. There's 3 or 4 different iterations on the YouTube. And there's also other ones coming up on the deck queue. Yeah, I agree, B-Rich. I think on average, our deck probably has a good matchup here, but games like this are one of the reasons why Mono Blue is so good. Like, they just have so... They have these draws where, like, we don't know we're playing against Mono Blue, so I don't know to mulligan this hand with a bunch of 5-mana spells in it, basically. I have no idea, Turkey Sloth. I don't have their schedule memorized. I'd encourage you to check their website. It's really unfortunate that we didn't have a removal spell here because they tapped out without protection. Hey, Giddle, thanks for picking up Equip. Hope you enjoy your brush. Be sure to drop me a DM and let me know what deck you'd like to bump up with that. Melody went up 105% in paper. That's an increase. Yeah, I think the Esper Pirates deck is sweet. I think the blue-black Pirates deck was close to being fantastic, and I think the Splash for Deputy really fixes problems that it otherwise has. We're probably just going to get outraced here. This is definitely a matchup where post-board, being able to intelligently mulligan to hands that are meaningful is going to be a big deal. Knowing what matchup you're in is such a big boon to players who are experienced and know how to mulligan accordingly. Especially when you're playing an interactive deck like we're playing here. You can find the Esper Pirates deck and lots of other great decks on my website. Yep. Click Videos Standard. So Shivan Fire comes in here. Cannonade comes in here. I think Fight with Fire comes in here too. Maybe this. I like the Duresses as well. And we're just going to take some of this clunky top end and kind of just trim it all out. Let's become a deck full of removal spells. I don't think I want to cut Treasure Map in this matchup. I guess Direfleet Daredevil doesn't really flash back anything meaningful, and it doesn't block very well, so I think I'm going to go ahead and trim all of these. Maybe leave a Siege Gang Commander in. Maybe a couple of these at the top end is good. I just do need some ways to, like, actually end and lock up the game. What were other changes you'd think I'd make to the list? Well, if you look at the wrap-up segment, I don't think I had any. If I'm going to make updates to a deck list that we played on stream, I always talk about them at the end of when we're playing it. Seems rough on decks. What does that mean? You mean there's a lot of decks listed? If so, yes, there are. I'm planning to stream longer than I normally stream today. I'm gonna do 10 or 12 hours or so. How do you feel about the Is It Phoenix deck that Scott Vargas played? It's very reasonable. It's a good, solid... It's probably great against Mono Blue, because it's a deck that both has a fast clock and has a lot of cheap interaction. I actually have a code for a mattress. The Lisa is the mattress that I use personally. And they were on my sponsor reel for a while. Once they've been up there for a little while, I pull them out to get new people into rotation, but my links still work there. They're great, and they come with a 90-day money-back guarantee if you buy one and don't like it. This hand's maybe a little bit medium because it doesn't have any removal spells in it, but Goblin Chainwhirler on the play I think is a keep. And like Rix Maadi can cycle the Siege Gang into something that's hopefully a little bit better. picking up Phoenix is a great draw here. Rekindling Phoenix and Seraph of the Scales are just like two of the best cards in this format against the mono blue deck, just because they allow you to close the game out very quickly once you've taken control, and they block incredibly well, which is great. You know what? I should wait to play my land until after I see if this treasure map resolves, because if this doesn't resolve, I should have played the Blood Crypt so it could come into play tapped. So, if they spell pierce this, I played the wrong land. Yeah, so hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me, but this could cause me a tempo loss later, or 2 life, which is bad. Yeah, Lyra blocks okay against mono blue, but it's not a recurring blocker to block multiple things, and it's more expensive. I guess it doesn't need to be recurring because it is first strike, but 4 mana versus 5 is a big jump. So Essence Capture is the only thing that counters this here. I think I just jam this because it demands Essence Capture. No capture there is great for us. So this gives them an attack in with the Terramander this turn, but that's not that scary just because the Phoenix is going to be available to block again next turn. It's possible that I should have left this back because the 2 damage that I got in on this attack was definitely less valuable than the 2 damage they're going to get on this attack. So me being a little bit aggressive could cost me this race for sure. Let's cast this to start and see if it resolves. Oh, don't spell pierce me. It's also possible that firing off that shock there is wrong, because it gives my opponent the 4th instant or sorcery for their graveyard to let the Terramander pop off this turn. Bruce. Right on time, Duress. Right on time. Alright, at least it wasn't a dead card there. We, like, got something out of their hand. So maybe we could draw a removal spell next turn. A lot of middling Magic players have elitist attitudes towards playing aggressive decks because they're not feel-smart decks. Decks that get free wins get bad raps from people who want to put other people down. Yeah, Terry's real scary. This card was a solid upgrade for this archetype. Probably dead here. I don't think we really have comeback mechanics from this position. And this is, like, why the mono blue deck's so good, right? Like, I'm pretty sure our deck's a little bit favored in this matchup, but, like, favored doesn't mean you're guaranteed to win by any means, right? Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and run to the restroom really quick. When I get back, we're gonna play another match or two with this. Thanks for hanging out, folks. Did you behave, chat? I hope you behaved. So I'd actually like to expand on... I'd like to expand on my comment on aggro decks a little bit more. Someone asked why they get a bad rap, and I think, especially among players who are a little bit less experienced with Magic, putting down aggro decks is kind of a way to preserve your own ego. Like, you'll often hear players say things like mono blue or mono red are cheap or they're unfair in some way, and writing off a deck that's good as being unfair or cheating or cheap is a cop-out instead of making your deck better, right? Like, if you just say, well, the deck's unfair, so there's nothing I can do, suddenly it's not your fault anymore that your deck that you're working on can't beat the good deck. It's the fault of the game designers that you can't beat that deck because the game designers messed up and made a deck that's too good. Do I want treasure map to get countered? Yeah, probably. This means if I hit a land next turn, I get to go ahead and Carnage them, which is nice. The only thing that's cheap about mono blue is the price tag. Yep, I firm agree. So, one of the things that I think a lot of people misconflate when they're talking about what a deck takes to play well is something I've talked about before on stream is in reference to the ceiling or floor of a deck's play skill. And a lot of people assume that a deck that has a high skill floor, which by that I mean a deck that's still good even when you're playing it poorly, they conflate that to mean it has a low skill ceiling. And what I mean by that is mono blue's a deck where you can win with mono blue even if you're playing very poorly an okay amount of the time, just because play my creature, put Curious Obsession on it, counter your spells, just kills a lot of people a lot of the time, right? And just because the base power level of the deck is good, people take that to mean that it's skillless at the top and being a better player doesn't get you a better win percentage with it. The skill floor, the way I'm describing it here, is that the floor is high, which means even if you're not skilled, you're still going to win a lot. And the ceiling is how much you're going to win when you are very good at the deck. Yeah. Goodbye, friends. So our problem here, well, that's a good draw. Hitting the CGN commander after they burn Kaya's Wrath is great for us. Alright, hold on, folks. I'm gonna do it again. I've never heard anyone else describe it the other way around. Maybe that's the norm, but that's not the way I've heard those terms used before. Wow, that's rude. Oh, this is good. So now I either Carnage their Cry out of their hand, or I Dire Fleet Daredevil Erasure the Carnage out of their hand. So here's the thing I think people are misunderstanding is that a deck can have a low floor and a high ceiling simultaneously. That's what you're missing. Low floor and high ceiling are not mutually exclusive. That's what I think you're not understanding from my definition. They're separate. So the skill ceiling is how good the deck is, the ceiling is how good the deck is when you play it very well, and the floor is how good the deck is even when you're playing it like a buffoon. No, see, I think so. I think it should be implied the other way, Ozar. So, like, if a high skill ceiling means if you play it well, you get a lot of percentage points, a high floor. Nah, see, I describe high floor as it being easy to play, or the inverse of what you're saying. I don't think it doesn't make logical sense to me to describe it the other way. We are running good. So I just throw 6 goblins at them when they Kaya's Wrath me, and then I untap and Carnage them for 3. Apparently in the MOBA community, it's the inverse of what I'm describing. But I think that doesn't make sense. So here's why it doesn't make sense to me. If a higher ceiling means that the deck is better, then a higher floor should mean the deck is better as well. I don't understand why you would... Hey, thanks for checking out Equip Tofu. And Deadpool, thanks for the 5-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Got a little bit lucky here. See, I would think the height you're at is what you would use to describe how good something is. So if something has a high floor, it's good, just like when you're at the high ceiling. I get it. I get where the other people are coming from, but I think it's backwards. I think it's backwards to conflate a low skill floor with being, yeah, I think if a high ceiling means if you're playing at the high ceiling, you're doing well. If you're at the low floor, if your floor is higher, you're also doing well. Do I want removal for their thieves? I don't know. I have Rekindling Phoenix to block their thieves, so I don't think so. Goblin Chainwhirler seems a little medium here. Maybe Carnage isn't very good either, though. I think I just want to cut these and leave the discard 2s in. No second land. Pretty easy mulligan. Seems super reasonable. I would love a 4th land. How many dollar dues to get me to run a duo standard event? I don't know, probably 5 figures. Running an event's gonna be tedious and awkward. I still need to figure out how we're gonna run a large-ish tournament without an in-client tournament client. It's probably gonna be kind of terrible and awkward. I think I'm holding on to this until I can thought erasure them. I think I'm playing this to filter through a land here. Let's move off of the mods. Please start timing people out using the ceiling floor discussion. I understand what you're saying, and I say I disagree with the convention through which you're using. So, it's super subjective, and define things however you want to define things. I'm just saying... No. Well, I mean, you could use Smash.gg dying slowly, but there's still a ton of other things that you have to factor in there. You have to depend on people reporting things accurately. How do you have people validate results? How do you manage round timers and contact people when they haven't reported and the round's supposed to be done, etc. I have no idea if they plan to introduce the ability to host tournaments yourselves. So, I only have one more threat here, so it's going to feel bad when they have another Absorb. But I think it's important that I play Rekindling Phoenix this turn, because if I don't play Rekindling Phoenix this turn, they likely Chemister's Insight. And once they Chemister's Insight, they're more likely to have an answer to it. They're going to end-step Mortify on tap Kaya's Wrath. Feels bad, man. Yeah, Dan, and there's websites that automate a process like that. Again, the question just comes back to how do you deal with people who are lying and stuff like that. Alright, probably done here. This archetype doesn't have something like Hydrate Crisis to get us back into the game once we flood out. Is MTGA my favorite of the online games to stream, or just the one that draws the most views? I've been streaming Magic online since I've been streaming Magic the Gathering on the internet since it was just MTGO. So it's nice that we finally have viewers to go with Magic, but I've been here for a long time because Magic is great, okay? Been here. We've been here for years. We've been streaming Magic for 6 years on this. I've been streaming Magic for 6 years, Moto, right? Like, we're not quite like Newmont OG Magic streamer, but we've been around the block for a while. Hey, good dingy, thank you for the Prime support. I appreciate you shipping your Beza bucks this way this month. Yeah, but what if the loser lies, Duo? That's the problem. You're not accounting for people lying. And I guess, like, the sub-tournament we're probably going to try and run isn't going to have that amazing of prizes. So it's mostly going to be people playing for fun, so. How old am I? I am 28. I am 28 years old. Mentally, I'm 56, and I'm very, very jaded and bitter. So these Rix Maadis are kind of awkward here, right? Like, I think I just hold these because I don't really want to discard anything. Yeah, I just gotta work out the details, Jiriru. Gotta figure out what are all the details gonna be. Yeah, I'm deeper into life than a lot of millennials. A lot of people my age. The whole wife, 2 kids thing. House does that. This was a good draw. Until they untap and play for Restless Contempt. Don't I miss Modern? We actually said this earlier today, but I'd love to repeat it. The current Modern format is arguably one of the worst formats of Magic I've ever played. And this current Standard format is in my top 5 favorite formats of Magic of all time. It's very good. Do I play Rix Maadi and cycle a Rix Maadi here? I think so. The Rix Maadi discard not being a May is actually pretty good because it means you get to draw a card with it even when you don't have a card to discard. The reason why it's right to play Rix Maadi here is because this way if my opponent plays a Teferi and tucks my Phoenix, my Rix Maadi then kills their Teferi. Yeah, 4 color gates is a lot of fun. We're actually gonna get back to that one again today. Welcome to the Space Jam. What are my top 5? I think this format ranks number 3 for me. The previous Standard format before we got this latest set is my number 1, and then number 2 is Innistrad RTR Standard, and then this one would probably be number 3 for me. It's definitely up there. Yeah, OG Innistrad RTR was a good time. Like that one a lot. Sweet. Alright. Alright. It might be right to not play the tap plan, so I can play an untapped plan and a 3-drop this turn. Sweet. That lets me kill their Thief of Sanity with Rakdos Contempt next turn. Or an Eldest Reborn. Sure. My poor Duress is getting used against me. Alright, well, hopefully their last card isn't Negate. When my queue's backed up, Jerry Roo, I look at $100 for a cut. Just because it's not fair to make people who have been wait that much longer. Oh, are we done here? Are we done here? 50 should get you into the next day, though, because I do give a 20% bonus for bigger donations. So a $50 donation would get you played tomorrow, almost certainly. And today I am going to run long, so... Since the queue's kind of full at the moment. Speaking of hundreds for cuts, thank you, SCTR. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a good one. We have to attack Teferi with everything here, right? Towards the purple beard. I know the attack with all button lets me attack planeswalkers. Muscle memories, a Bizwitch.
I won't let you win. Me to phase you out of time?
I think I actually play this out as just a 2-1 here because I just want more creatures in play so that way I can pressure this Teferi, because if they play a sweeper effect to kill all of the creatures, that includes killing the Thief of Sanity, which is good for me. I'm just crazy. Don't Siege Gang Commander me. Don't Siege Gang Commander me.
Hurry.
Don't Siege Gang Commander me. Don't Siege Gang... Deal. Sold. Oh, I'm through both my Eldest Reborns already, aren't I? No, just one. So we're hoping to scry into Eldest Reborn here. Teferi's at 2. I think I'm supposed to keep that. I didn't have Treasures Distrominator. That is not true. So brutal. Maybe on the backs of these maps we can get there. I don't know, like they have Kaya's Wrath and Cry of the Canarium to answer Siege Gang Navier. Like they have 1-for-1 answers for everything that we do, and there's only one Eldest Reborn in my deck to dig to. So I don't think it's worth digging to Eldest Reborn. Like, I know it feels bad to, like, get Vraska's Contempted, but they also have... Could Siege Gang have killed Teferi? That's not true. Once I spend more mana scrying, I can't play Siege Gang and kill Teferi, so that's incorrect. I think I just have to dig here. All right. So you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Don't have a counter spell. Do 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 do. Oh, all right. All right, so we've got double map versus Azcanta plus their map. So, Haswald with the Prime support. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Oh, it's also worth noting Dire Fleet's exiled 3 of their spells, right? Which is keeping them off of flipping their Azcanta for now, which is pretty awesome for us. That is another Teferi, yep.
I know my responsibility. Keep up the pace.
Really looking for a copy of Eldest Reborn this turn. I think that's good enough to keep. So if they go to tuck my map, Jimmy, I just flip it in response, and Teferi's ability can't tuck a land. So once it becomes a land, it would no longer be a legal target. Looking for Duress or Eldest Reborn or Siege Gang Commander here. I think Theater of Horrors is good enough to keep.
Well, that didn't pan out.
Yeah, Theater does pressure Teferi. So do I lead on Rekindling Phoenix or Theater here? Probably Rekindling Phoenix. Joe Gabes, thanks for the Prime support. There's a lot of great people you can chip those Bezo bucks to. Thanks for sending them my way this month. Worth noting, there's only 26 cards in our deck at the moment. I was gonna say we kind of outdrawing them, but they did hit us with Thief a couple of times, right? Which changes the dynamic. So I do have to spend a treasure to play the Theater out this turn, but I think that's a worthwhile exchange for me. I think I want to just get this down, especially with this other treasure map flipping. I want to just try and tax their mana as much as possible here. And this Teferi is down to 3, so if they want to tuck something in, they lose the Teferi. Yep. Yeah, Theater can ping Teferi down too as well. Okay. I said they don't have a mana sink like Crisis to catch back up, which is accurate. This is not Crisis. Wow. Wow, okay. Yeah, deal. Resolves. Huh. Maybe they're gonna mill us out. So I'm actually gonna keep this land on top of my deck because this land lets me play this, lets me activate Theater of Horrors, and then lets me Carnage them without having to use a treasure. Because I want these treasures to draw me cards at this point. They have more cards in their deck than me because Thief of Sanity hit me a few times. There's 23 cards in my deck to 32 in theirs. And they're at 17 still. So the fact that Theater hit me might ultimately end up meaning I don't have enough win conditions left to win the game. On stream, all of the decks that I play on stream are viewer-submitted deck lists, and you can submit your own deck by following the details on my website here. brutal. I think we're behind at the moment.
I won't hide from the world.
Definitely one of the tougher things to estimate I've done in a while, but I think we're behind currently. I don't know that we're actually in garbage time yet though. I have 4 extra cards waiting in play. So I might be able to like gear back up and do that. Like if I hit like an Eldest Reborn here, we're still in a fine spot, right? Like if we were to put something silly like an advantage bar on the screen, I think it would be in my opponent's direction, but I don't think this game is just over yet.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
We do not have any Banefires in our deck. I think the fact that the Thief got we almost outground the early Thief hits, but just too many Tefris in a row made it a little bit too tough. Yeah, I agree, Burgle. Like obviously their card selection is much better than ours. As exemplified by drawing 4 lands in a row. So, my takeaway from playing this deck is my takeaway from playing this deck is the same thing that I thought going in. I don't understand why I would play this just red-black deck as opposed to playing the Jund Whirler deck that we played a few times in the past. I feel like not playing a bunch of copies of Status Statue seems kind of silly. I think you can play a lot of the same things this deck is doing while also having access to things like Cinder Vines, like both parts of Status Statue. I think there's a lot of good things you can do there without just being red-black. And adding the green's a pretty low cost overall. Thoomfish, thank you for the 24 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. All right, what are we doing next? Four color skies or blue? I was looking at blue